The unstoppable rise of Alexander the Great, the boy who conquered the world. In 334 BC, a young man just 20 years old stood at the edge of history. His name? Alexander, king of Macedonia. His goal? Nothing short of defeating the greatest superpower of the age, the Persian Empire. With brilliant strategy and fearless courage, Alexander led his men into battle after battle, never backing down, always pushing forward. And in an astonishing 10-year campaign, he carved out one of the largest empires the world has ever known, stretching to the edge of the known world. To the Persians, he was Alexander the Accursed. To the West, he was immortalized as Alexander the Great. But how did it all begin? A land of warriors and philosophers. In the rugged lands of ancient Greece, two powerful city-states rose to prominence. Athens, a beacon of art, drama, and philosophy, and Sparta, a military machine built on discipline and strength. Together, they once faced a mighty Persian Empire, standing united against impossible odds. At Thermopylae, 300 Spartans held back a sea of Persian soldiers, fighting to their last breath. And though they fell, their defiance inspired a Greek victory at Salamis. But peace was fleeting. Greece soon tore itself apart in wars between Athens and Sparta. The Greek world was weakened, ripe for conquest by an unlikely power from the north. Enter Macedonia and the rise of a king. For centuries, the Greeks had looked down on Macedonia, calling it barbaric, uncivilized, barely Greek. But under King Philip II, Macedonia transformed into a military powerhouse. His secret? The sarissa, an 18-foot pike wielded by soldiers trained to fight in tight, unbreakable formations. In 338 BC, Philip crushed Athens and Thebes at the Battle of Corinea, uniting Greece under the Hellenic League. But just as he prepared to launch a massive invasion of Persia, he was assassinated. His throne and his dream passed to his young son, Alexander. Tutored by Aristotle and already a skilled commander, Alexander acted swiftly. He eliminated rivals, crushed rebellions, and destroyed Thebes, selling its people into slavery. He sent a message, "Challenge me and be destroyed." The invasion begins. In the spring of 334 BC, Alexander crossed into Asia Minor with an army of 40,000 soldiers and a mission to conquer Persia. His army was a machine of war. Macedonian phalangites, with their sarissas, formed a wall of spears. Elite hydaspes guarded the flanks. The companion cavalry, led by Alexander himself, were his sword and shield. The Persians gathered at the river Granicus, hoping to stop him. Their generals urged caution, to burn crops, starve Alexander's army. But pride prevailed. They chose battle. The Battle of Granicus, a river of blood. With the sun setting, Alexander charged into the river, leading his cavalry headfirst into the Persian line. Javelins flew, horses crashed, steel clashed. Amidst the chaos, Alexander faced death itself. Struck on the head, his helmet shattered, but he rose, struck down his attacker, and fought on. As the phalanx stormed across the river, Persian cavalry broke and fled. The Greek mercenaries, fighting for Persian gold, begged for mercy. Alexander gave none. They were slaughtered. The victory was decisive. Asia Minor now lay at his feet. Alexander's fury and destiny. One by one, Persian cities fell. Miletus, Halicarnassus, Gaza, Tyre, all defeated or destroyed. In Egypt, Alexander was hailed as pharaoh, crowned as son of Ammonius, god of gods. At Gordium, he faced the legendary Gordian knot, said to bind the fate of Asia. He cut it with his sword. Destiny, it seemed, was his to command. The Battle of Issus, a king flees. In 333 BC, Alexander faced Darius III, king of Persia at Issus. Outnumbered 2-1, he fought with unyielding fire. As phalanx and cavalry clashed, Alexander pierced the Persian lines, racing for Darius himself. The great king fled in terror. His family captured, his army destroyed. The final showdown, Gaugamela. In 331 BC, near modern Iraq, the stage was set for a final battle. Darius waited with up to 80,000 soldiers, war chariots, even elephants. Alexander's men were outnumbered, but not outmatched. He feinted right, drew the Persians away, then struck the weakened center with all his might. Darius fled again, his army broken. The end of an empire, the birth of a legend. With Persia shattered, Alexander's path lay open to Babylon, to Persepolis, to the ends of the earth. He was more than a king now. To many, he was a god, a man destined to rule the world. Few in history have dared what Alexander dared. Fewer still have succeeded. He didn't just change the world, he conquered it. Alexander the Great, the boy who became a legend,